don't work with big influencers, work with the smaller influencers for so many reasons. On TikTok Shop, I would say very bare minimum commission is 10%, 15%. Creators can also filter by commission amount, like 30% or over.
If it's a beauty product and you're going to buy it or supplement every 30 days, why not give away a much higher or even 100% of the product the first time around?
The first message, outreach message, should cover all the bases, simple, to the point. Leave the creator with just one question. It's like, do you want to work with us, yes or no?
You're watching Marketing Misfits with Norm Farrar and Kevin King.
Mr. Farrar, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Another week, another great podcast.
I hope. This kind of depends on you, Kevin. It could be a good podcast, or it could just suck.
It depends on me. Whether I let you ask a question or not?
That usually, is challenging.
Well, sometimes we have to redo them because you hit the wrong button. So I'm like, I'm counting on you to hit the right button.
You always push my buttons, but
that's why your glasses are fogging up, right?
That's it. Well, it's just because it's you. But all right.
Hey, you know what I've been working on lately?
What have you been working on lately?
A schedule for the CMS trip in November. This, you heard of CMS, right? You heard of the Collective Mind Society. Our guest today's actually been on a couple of actually been to the last one. Came to the last one, but we have one coming up in November. What are we doing, Norm? What are we doing in November?
Well, I didn't read your agenda, but if there was a little bit of my input, then we're going to be in Tampa, the cigar capital of North America, and we are going to have a bash. It's going to be an incredible event for like-minded individuals who just love cigars, sitting around, talking. We've got a great event happening. So that's going to be in Tampa. That's in November. We're going to go to what was voted the world's #1 cigar lounge, which is kind of cool. We've got some really incredible cigar tours happening. So you'll actually get to roll your own cigar and see how it's done properly. I don't know. Mine's probably going to look like a U.
I'm not smoking. I don't know if I'm going to be smoking the ones you roll.
I don't know.
They'd be falling all in my lap. But no, it's going to be really cool. Yes. So we have a full 4 nights, 3 full days trip to, I think there's like 7 cigar lounges that we're going to, plus like Norm said, a museum and a rolling place. A lot of people don't realize Tampa is the cigar capital of the world. They always think of Cuba or Miami or something like that, but it's actually Tampa. More cigars are made there than anywhere else. And Norm and I went and checked it out back in May, and it was, we got super excited. This trip's going to be awesome. So if you want to know more about that, you can go to Collective Mind Society. And you know what, our guest today was actually on the trip that we did last year through the Canadian Rockies. And our guest today actually is one of the big reasons I'm paying more attention to social media. I bet you didn't know this, Norm. I remember when I first heard of Gracey, it was like someone had told me about TikTok, like 2017, 2018. Like, you got to check out this TikTok. And I'd heard about Musical.ly before it became TikTok, and I think Gary Vee was talking about it. And then somehow I can't remember exactly where. I think she came on a podcast with somebody, or she was on a summit, and she's like, I got 1.3 million followers, and I got all these deals, and I'm doing this and doing this. And then she came down to an event in Austin, and we were hanging around with a bunch of people, and she was kind of hinting, she wouldn't actually say, but someone was grilling her on how much money are you making doing this as an influencer, and she kind of beat around the bush, but it was decent money, like eye-opening, and I was like, all right, this influencer stuff I got to start taking seriously. And so that's why I started looking into a lot of the social media and started hyping it in the BDSS and all the stuff that I do, the newsletter and everything. So it's because of her that I actually started paying closer attention to what's become something that everybody should be paying attention to. Can you believe that? Can you believe that?
I don't believe. I think you just made it up. But I'll take your.
I'm trying to get brownie
for it.
Don't bring me down, Norm. I'm trying to earn brownie points for Gracey so that she's always happy to see me, and I don't want to disappoint.
Are we having a cat fight?
Round? Let's just bring her on.
All right.
Make this place
This is my job.
Anyway,
Stand back,
remember, there's a
everybody.
button. Not that button, Norm. The other button.
That one?
That one.
Gracey.
It's
Now
everyone's
the place looks a lot better, Norm. This is so much better now. How you doing, Gracey?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
We're alive and kicking.
Still.
Oh, that is
Still.
great news.
And what they say, every day above ground's a good day.
That's what Pitbull
Especially
said.
now.
So how's life been treating you?
Life is good. Staying busy. It's really, really hot now that it's summer. So I am potentially looking forward to Tampa. I've been talking about wanting to go to the beach. So that is hopefully something I can look forward to.
And we're doing it in November, so the weather's still good. But you were on the last trip time that we. How was that? Did you have a good time? I know you were like, I don't know, train ride. That's what like old people do. But at the end of the day, I think you really enjoyed it, right?
We turned the train into a party. It was beautiful. It was probably somewhere that I never would have gone by myself. So the people were great. I love the size of it. It wasn't so big that you couldn't talk to everyone. I feel like I had time to get to know people who were there on a deeper level. And I do feel like there was some good like mix of fun and partying and cigar and all that good stuff, but also good learning and education and like real conversations. And, I definitely got closer to some people and made new friends on the trip. So I want to say I regretted it, but I don't. So.
But that's the point of it. When we did the F1, not everybody's into F1.
Mhm.
When we were doing the Rockies, not everybody's into that. And now same thing with the cigars.
Mhm.
You might want to just come and hang out. Oh, you know what and I know we'll get into the influencers in a second, but one of the things that I remember about that trip
Mhm.
is trying to get Kevin to come with me and go outside the first night we got to Banff,
Mhm.
and there was a grizzly bear outside or something like that. And they were warning us,
smoke cigars.
you can't go out there. There's a bear.
There's a bear roaming around outside the hotel. So we didn't get cigars that night. We had to come in. We just sat in that one little library or something.
Yeah.
It's like a kind of lounge library thing, and just shot the
Beep.
that beep, yeah, for a little while. But yeah, that was cool. So speaking of influence,
Mhm.
you have a lot of influence when it comes to some social media stuff. How did you went to school for marketing, right? You graduated with a marketing degree, and then I know you work for someone. Walk us through how the Gracey evolved from a marketing degree to becoming one of the better known and top influencers, creators in the e-com space.
Sure. Yeah. So I went to school for a mix of psychology and business. So at the time, I wasn't sure what direction that would take me, but all I knew was I was really interested in the psychology of marketing. And so in hindsight, it worked out really well. But at the time, I really was interested in sales. I actually did sales straight out of college. And I feel like even if I hated the cold calling and I really hated like the culture of that kind of sales, I did learn so much about the science behind it, the tonality, how to sell something to somebody that probably doesn't know that they need something or want something. And so while it was like kind of in the trenches, I feel like I got a lot of value out of it. And then from there, it was the height of the pandemic. So mid 2020, when TikTok really started growing a lot of people just turned from just watching videos to starting to create videos in the middle of the pandemic. And from there, I unintentionally started gaining traction. I unintentionally started monetizing. I always say I never thought of myself as somebody who could make money from social media, especially back then when it was only the people with huge followings that could make money from it. But I actually learned about the affiliate side of things and linking and driving traffic to listings later on, probably a few months into it, because I think an Amazon seller reached out and asked about it. And I'm like, what do you mean the Amazon influencer program? What is an affiliate link? So I actually learned about that later on, but within a couple months was able to kind of surpass my 9 to 5 income. And as of 2021, went full time with it and have been ever since.
Was it only 2021?
It's only 2020. Yeah.
Yeah.
2021.
2021.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you came on then the BDSS virtual shortly after you kind of started blowing up. So,
Did.
oh, wow. All right. That was early on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it about, I mean, I know you personally outside of the business world, and you're a little bit more, when I've been around, at least a little more shy and reserved and careful. But when you get on camera, I've seen some of your work. It's like a whole nother person. It's like you light up. It's like you light up the stage. It's like I don't. That's part of your magic. Is like you really turn it on, and it's not in a fake way, or it's not in some like over the top way. But you have just your eye expressions, the way you move your head, everything is a lot. Is that just natural for you? Or is that some of what you've learned through the psychology, and like you're actually applying some of the psychology so that people have that empathy and that relate to you, and you draw them in?
That is something that I probably learned from just being such an avid watcher of TikTok. I'm on it multiple hours a day. So I'm able to see different videos. I've seen videos with absolutely 0 views and millions of views. And within studying that, I can tell it kind of goes back to the tonality of sales. If you answer a sales call or you start a sales call and you're like, hey, this is Gracey from so-and-so, I'm calling about, they're gone. It's kind of like cold calling is almost like TikTok, where you have the hook and you have 3 seconds to hook the viewer or the prospect. And if you lose them, you lose the sale, you lose the viewer. Somebody scrolls or somebody hangs up. It's very like parallel. So that kind of energy, I think, is so clear that if you want to transfer that energy of I'm excited about something, I'm confident about something, and I'm trying to tell you something important, please like don't scroll away. That is the science behind it. And so if I started a video like, hey guys, I have this product, like they're gone. So you have really the hook in the 3 seconds to make somebody care. So yeah, that is interesting. And I am definitely more shy, quiet, reserved in person. And that is definitely true. So
Well, you still sell, because I got a furry tail and I'm not a furry, but I bought it
You got
off
a what?
of, you know.
that's my
You got
other.
a what? Oh, well, furry tail. All I'm picturing
Yeah.
is like
Furry
something hanging off your
ears,
butt right
you know.
now. Some sort of little like a furry tail. What's a furry tail?
You'll have to research that on your off hours.
Yeah,
all
we'll
right.
talk about that later. But Gracey, is it also the colors that you're using? So I know, like when I've watched Deal Cheats,
Mhm.
I can see exactly what Kevin's talking about, but you've also got this mix of colors that are blended into your set. Is that all part of it as well?
There is definitely, I mean, I'm not sitting here like I'm going to use blue and purple because they actually convert better, but blue is associated with trust and authenticity. Purple is kind of just a fun color. So I think they look well together. But I've definitely noticed some things, like when I wear certain colors, videos do perform differently. And actually, an interesting thing that I learned while in Iceland, when I was talking to Daryl, the YouTube guy, works with Mr. Beast, he was looking at my channel and he was like, oh, when you dyed your hair red, you actually got way more views during like that time period because you probably were looking more recognizable. And that's something that I never had clocked beforehand, that my hair color, like the things that I'm wearing, the colors that I'm using in my background or wearing, it made a difference, but it's a very subconscious difference to note.
Hey, Norm, you'll love this, man. I talked to a seller the other day doing $50K a month. But when I asked them what their actual profit was, they just kind of stared at me.
Are you serious? That's kind of like driving blindfolded.
Exactly, man. I told them, you got to check out Seller Board, this cool profit tool that's built just for Amazon sellers. It tracks everything like fees, PPC, refunds, promos, even changing COGS using FIFO.
Aha. But does it do FBM shipping costs too?
Sure does. That way you can keep your quarter four chaos totally under control and know your numbers, because not only does it do that, but it makes your PPC bids, it forecasts inventory, it sends review requests, and even helps you get reimbursements from Amazon.
Now that's like having a CFO in your back pocket.
You know what? It's just $15 a month. But you got to go to sellerboard.com/misfits, sellerboard.com/misfits. And if you do that, they'll even throw in a free 2-month trial.
So you want me to say, go to sellerboard.com misfits and get your numbers straight before your accountant loses it?
Exactly.
All right. So the channels that you're working with right now, what are they? You're doing Amazon Live still?
A little bit. So I'm more working directly with brands for Amazon Live. And then I want to say a lot of what I'm focusing on is more so TikTok, just because I've sadly seen when I was working with TikTok directly, when TikTok Shop launched back in 2023, like the summer months of 2023, I've seen the progression of the entire platform change so much. And now I'm kind of getting stressed, realizing that we've almost missed like the golden days of TikTok Shop. And so if you're delaying or waiting it out, like it will only get more competitive and hard for both brands and affiliates. So now I'm like, while the time is right, let me focus on this now, because I'm seeing just within the last year and a half, it's changed so drastically that like we're almost out of the golden days. And I'm like,
we talked about this a year or two ago, and that was Amazon Live. And one of the things that got me nervous, and this could be for any creator or influencer, if you're putting all your eggs in one basket, like Amazon Live, they came down. You remember when they came down and they just cut like a ton of A-listers just like that. So your income is gone.
Correct.
So what about TikTok? Like, are you worried about that?
So there's like the personal worry of like, what if my account gets a violation and I get taken out of the program or banned or something? And then there's like the program itself. So obviously we know that there was the whole talk of the TikTok ban. I don't personally believe in it. I know a lot of brands were holding back from really investing into TikTok because they were like, what if it goes away in 2 months? Like it'll all be for nothing. But I think that is a scared mindset. I don't think that should be holding you back from really utilizing the platform. But then there's always the whole, like, what if my personal account gets banned for something, a violation or something? That's always a fear. I've seen multiple affiliates have multiple affiliate accounts. And as time passes, it's like easier to start an affiliate account. Like people can have between 1,000 and 5,000 followers and then basically get access to being a TikTok affiliate. So it's always a fear, but it's just one of those things, like the more educated you are about not doing something wrong, the better off you'll be. And then of course, making connections for people who can help if you're ever in that situation is useful too.
What's the difference in an affiliate, a creator, and an influencer? A lot of people kind of use those interchangeably, but in some ways they have different meanings too. So can you explain that to people that are listening?
I love this question. There's so much overlap, but I do believe that all three things are somewhat different. So affiliate is somebody who is basically promoting something from a company. They're being the affiliate of a service or product. So this has nothing to do with influence or following. This could be like a blogger. This could be a website. This could be anybody who's making a little cut of commission from selling somebody else's product. That's an affiliate. Then creator, kind of interchangeable with influencer. Creator could be somebody with 0 followers that just creates content, makes videos, live streams, whatever. That's just a creator. And then an influencer is somebody hopefully with influence. This is more so with like follower count, follower loyalty, somebody who says, do this, and their followers go, sounds good. And so that's why they're a little bit different. An influencer is both a creator and an affiliate. An influencer is also a creator, of course, if they're using video or content to be the influencer. So there's definitely a mix, but all three are a bit different to me.
So since you're talking about the definitions of these three, what about the definitions of the type of influencer there is, like from macro all the way up to celebrity? You want to get into that a bit?
Sure. So I love this this because right now I feel like is the era of small content creators, people just getting started, micro influencers. I had always been a big proponent of telling brands don't work with big influencers, work with the smaller influencers for so many reasons. So of course, typically with the general theme, there's like micro, nano, there's like mid-size, mid-tier, and then there's mega, macro, celebrity type of, and this is just based on follower count. Typically that's associated with how much they charge, how many impressions and engagements they get, how much they can actually sell. But more so recently, it doesn't really correlate anymore. Somebody with 2,000 followers and zero quote unquote influence can sell out a product, and the macro influencer with 1 million followers gets like 1,000 views and no sales. So more than ever, it doesn't really matter the follower count anymore. And now I'm seeing this on not only TikTok, but also Instagram, Shorts, Reels, all those other platforms too.
So that one with 1 million that might get 1,000 views, is that because their channel is so mixed where they're promoting a weight loss supplement one day and then dog food the next day and something else, and so the algorithm gets confused on who to show it to, versus the smaller 2,000, they're like dialed in on a specific niche, and so is it the niche people just have a better quality audience because that's why they're niche. It's more zeroed in on a very specific avatar type of thing, or what causes that?
So I think it's not necessarily always about like how niche down you are or the algorithm. I think everyone, especially on these platforms, is kind of on an even playing field. Like, for example, somebody with little followers can get 5 million views. The big influencer can also get 5 million views, but like it's less guaranteed, especially if you're talking about a product or trying to sell something. So sometimes the micro influencers almost come across like more real. They're not sitting there with like a perfect camera setup and perfect lighting and like totally on for the camera. That's no longer what's selling. So sometimes like the more unpolished, crappier looking content almost comes across more authentic, of like, oh, this person is literally just sharing a product they like, instead of like a bigger influencer with like probably more experience, knowledge, and a better setup is coming across more polished but salesy.
I've noticed that there's an influencer, Abby something. It's a girl in New York, and Abby, what's her last name? On TikTok. And I've somehow stumbled across her because I mentioned the word dachshund to Norm, that I'm getting a mini dachshund. So TikTok starts showing me dachshund videos. And it's this girl getting on a plane from New York to go to your hometown of Atlanta, or area of Atlanta, and pick up a dachshund and fly a little 8-week-old puppy and fly back with it.
Uh-huh.
And she was a cute little girl, but what she's done though is she's doing a mix of stuff. She's obviously doing an influencer. She just flew to Korea to do something over there, but she shows her life, and she'll show in makeup, not in makeup, glammed up, not glammed up, good lighting, not good lighting, walking down the street, like it's going into the coffee shop, doing different things with her dog, or different things with her girlfriends. And she doesn't show the people too much. It's mostly about her and her dog. But it's a mix. And I think that's a style. I don't know if you're seeing this now, where a lot of people it's almost like a day in the life, and you feel like you're getting to know this person, and it's much more authentic than that. Everything is glammed up or tightly controlled. And she'll drop something sometimes, and she's clearly editing it, but she'll leave something in just to make it look like it's that. Are you seeing more of that type of content resonating out there?
So that exactly is what I call the girl who she is the niche. The only thing that is consistent in her content is that it's about her life, her style, the things that she uses every day. And that is the best way to build that community of loyal followers. If you're like, one day it's this product, the next product, different products, that's fine. But then the central theme of it is like the product. So if they don't like the product, they don't care for the video. But here, the girl that you're talking about, if it's about her, people are watching for her. So she could be using anything in the world and people care because it's her. So
and she mixes it in. She mixes the product. She's not always shilling products. It's like subtly. It's like almost product placement. Like she's doing her makeup and she'd do a few things. And then the third thing that she picks up, oh, I love this elf, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's so great. And then puts it down, doesn't talk anything else about it.
That's the best way to do it. It's the most organic, like she's genuinely using it because she uses it, not like this is and like it's not product focused, it's her focused. And if people like her, they'll listen to the stuff she's using and what she's talking about. So it's a great
I guess what Kevin was describing, with light, without light, dropping things, crappy, polished, it sounds like it's very similar to social media content where you got to mix it up. I'll have some motivational quotes, I'll have some nice images, but just in a video format. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's always best to mix it up, but still have a common thing of why people are watching you. So it's totally fine to be like, here's what I drank for coffee. Here's my workout. Here's the makeup I'm using. Here's my dog. But at the same time, she's still the central theme between all these things. And the product placement, like organically, I think that is what's working the best, because the more you focus on like one product, one thing, when you're not at the highlight of the video, it really depends on what the product is. And if the product's not good, doesn't matter. So
she had some of it she doesn't even mention. Like she has this little miniature dachshund, but she has this really nice kennel. I've never seen a kennel that's this nice. And I looking at it, like she never mentioned like what the brand name is or anything, but I'm like looking at it going, that's pretty cool. And someone probably gave this to her. It's probably a placement thing or whatever, but I went and tried to find it. And then now I'm getting retargeted with that kennel, and I'll probably end up buying one of these little. It looks like furniture. It doesn't look like a metal cage.
Yeah.
And so there's that I think is powerful. And then I looked her up. She's got like 1.7 million followers. I'm like, oh, I had no idea, because she doesn't come across as one of these ego people, or something that some of them do. But so from when brands approach you to actually have you push their stuff. I know you used to have, when you're doing the deal days, there's a special package and stuff, but you've kind of evolved a little bit from there. And I saw you firsthand last Christmas, someone that wanted you to do stuff for them, and you're like, no. And they were pushing really, really hard, and you're like, no, it's just not. What you have is not right. This is not going to fit. And you were honest to them. So what is it that works for you? Like when brands come to you, what do you like to see, number one, and what is it that actually works, and what doesn't work for you?
Yeah, you're right. I have been through a time where I was so excited about working with brands that I probably took on brands that didn't really make sense for me. I didn't necessarily love their product. I was forced to say things about their product that I probably wouldn't say otherwise. So especially with that, and I know what you're talking about, they have amazing products, but I think their strategy was a little bit not what I would have suggested that they do. They were more focusing on using like one larger influencer and putting all their eggs in that basket, when my strategy would probably have been to spread it out with smaller influencers and get more impact in sales that way, with the brand awareness mixed with a bunch of other things, getting more content out. So it wasn't that the product was bad, but in that sense, I am a lot more picky with the brands that I work with. If I say yes to a brand and I'm not into their product, I don't believe in it, that's going to come across in my video. I'm going to be talking like a robot. I'm not going to be authentic about it. I can't look at the camera in the eye and say, love this product, dude, it's great. It comes across inauthentic. And I think when you are building a following, they can see that over time, and they can see like, oh, this girl doesn't like this product, and she's saying all these talking points, and that means she's going to say false things about other products just to sell it, or because a brand paid her to.
So there's no trust. There's no trust. Basically.
Yeah. It's that trust that you build with followers, that like, I'm going to say no to things that I don't really believe in and I don't think is a good thing that I would recommend to you. That trust is what's going to build a following over time.
But it's also, you got to learn when to say no. You can't take it, just because you want money. But the other thing, and I remember that conversation. You stood your ground, and good for you.
Yeah, you did a good job. You did a good job.
I'm
But
a big fan of the brand, and I love the people who work there.
No, they're good people. Yeah. They're good people.
Yeah.
But one of the things this comes across, and Kevin and I see this a lot as well. We'll work on a presentation. We'll get it done. We know, just like you, we know what it takes for this brand to move the mark.
Yeah.
And then you go to the presentation, just like you, and you say, this is what you need to do. And then they come back after you've laid it all out, hours worth of work, and they come back and say, I hear what you're saying, but, and as soon as I hear that, they're no longer a client.
Right.
It's like, you're not listening to me.
Correct.
And that's something that you were able to do during that conversation, which was, very, very good.
Thank you. Thank you. That's totally true. If they're not going to listen to your expertise and your insights and they want to do it their way and it's not your way, then it's not a good fit. And as a people pleaser, I'm slowly but surely learning that in this industry. I did not say no for the longest time, and I learned my lesson the hard way, and now I'm trying to practice it more. It's hard.
How do you cut through the clutter? I mean, I can only imagine as an influencer, especially if you got someone like you that has good following and good engagement, you just have to be inundated from the creator center, from agencies, from people DM you, just left and right. And how do you handle that? Does someone go through that for you and screen them out? Or do you look for certain catchphrases or like only things that you want? Or do you go seek out people like the brands that you're using? You're like, hey, by the way, I'd love to help you guys out. Or how walk me through that, because that's just got to be a headache sometimes.
It sure is. It leads to a lot of unanswered emails and messages. So that's not the best advice I can give, but I do suggest, like, once you get to that point of being bombarded with things that it's either too overwhelming, it's too tiresome of a task where you're spending half your time just scrolling through emails, kind of just trying to see what's worth your time and what's not. I think that's a good point in time to get a talent agency, talent manager, where they are literally just monitoring your inbox, responding to the brands that make sense for you or have the requirements that you're looking for, and literally just going through that and filtering it for you. Because one, it's overwhelming to wake up to 100 emails every day and know that you're having to spend 6 hours a day going through everything. And that's taking time away from what you can do, aka creating the content, doing what you do as a video creator. So if you're ever getting to that point, you don't have to have like a talent manager, but you could have like a VA or like somebody to help you do that, so you're not spending all your time and energy. Because not only is it time, it's a lot of mental work too. And it's a lot of keeping track. And I'm not an organized person, clearly. So like it's overwhelming. A lot of things were missed. Payments were missed. Like everything was in shambles. And so until that part was cleared up, and I did have somebody for that, it's overwhelming. But then, like, here are the products that I'm looking for. I'm not going to promote this random AI company. I'm looking for products that are high quality, well known, and like reputable, and something I can actually stand behind. Maybe I'm only working with brands with this certain amount of budget. I'm not going to respond to an email that's offering me $50 and 5% commission. So once you get to that point, it's time consuming, but it's so worth it to have somebody help with that, because it takes you away from doing what you do best and how you grow at the end of the day.
Now, a quick word from our sponsor, Levanta. Hey, Kevin, tell us a little bit about it.
That's right, Amazon sellers. Do you want to skyrocket your sales and boost your organic rankings? Meet Levanta, Norm and I's secret weapon for driving high-quality external traffic straight to our Amazon storefronts using affiliate marketing. That's right. It's achieved through direct partnerships with leading media outlets like CNN, Wirecutter, and BuzzFeed, just to name a few, as well as top affiliates, influencers, bloggers, and media buyers, all in Levanta's marketplace, which is home to over 5,000 different creators that you get to choose from.
So are you ready to elevate your business? Visit get.levanta.io/misfits. That's get.levanta, LEVANTA.io/misfits, and book a call, and you'll get up to 20% off Levanta's gold plan today. That's get.levanta.io/misfits. Are there any apps out there that can help a creator keep track of all of that? One of the biggest nightmares I had when I was dabbling in this is invoicing.
Yeah.
Just keeping track of the amount of units, like, $1,500. Oh, we missed that one. $500. Oh, we missed that one.
It's bad, but it's so true. Like at the time I realized, like, yes, maybe I'd have to pay somebody to like scour through these emails, but at the same time, the amount of invoices that I was missing, it was way worth it. So yes, it is really, really, really important to like not miss those things. I was missing deadlines. I was missing like details. To answer your question about the tools, there are AI tools that thank God are here now that I didn't have back in 2021. There's like email inbox organization tools. There's probably plenty of creator tools out there. I don't know one off the top of my head that does it all and does it well, but I'm sure plenty of them would be helpful. And now there are, I don't know, a couple of email inbox like AI softwares that I think are at the very least helpful, if not going to be like the same as a person actually going through everything. This way it can give you AI summaries, you can filter by certain things, and it does make it easier, but it doesn't fully do the job yet.
What about managing expectations? I'm talking about the other side of the fence. So we've talked to a ton of brands that they're reaching out 10, 50 influencers, and they're all sad because, the one influencer that responded gave them a crappy video. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about, how to manage those expectations for brands. What do they need to put into it, and what can they expect for output?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I had a brand recently reach out and they were like, we want to really focus on TikTok shop targeted campaigns, but like nobody's responding and we don't know what's wrong with our outreach. So managing expectations, I think putting all your eggs in like a little basket is not the right way to go right now, especially with either way. If you're working with Amazon or TikTok, the best thing you can do is like widen the outreach, but also focus on the quality of the outreach. Like using like all the things that I like talked about back in 2021 kind of still ring true. It's like say their name instead of saying like, hey, like your YouTube channel, but then you don't have a YouTube channel. So like right away, like I know they have no idea what my content is. They're not telling me I'm a perfect fit and they love my content. Like that's not true. They're just spamming this email. So if you are emailing 10 creators and only one crappy one responds, email 100 and then you'll get more responses. It's hard. You can use different softwares to like widen the outreach. You can improve the copywriting of it. Shout out AI, ChatGPT. Like, but also another thing that I'm like kind of getting picky about is I can catch ChatGPT like hyphens and terminology. And I know what is made with ChatGPT and what isn't. So I don't know how many other people are like really picky about that, but I am. And basically AI is great, but if you are utilizing that without any kind of personalization, that's hard. Another thing that I will mention, it's like the first message, outreach message, should cover all the bases, simple to the point, and leave the creator with just one question. It's like, do you want to work with us? Yes or no. So like you should be including, here's exactly what we're looking for, deliverables. Here is our budget, or they're asking for your rates for whatever deliverables. Here's the timeline. We want this by next week, or like we're just doing a campaign this month. Samples and product given to the influencer is like very base level. Like it shouldn't be like, we'll give you a unit of products in return. Like stop doing that. Like that is, the influencer needs the product to even know what they're talking about. So that should be at the very basic level. And then after I know all these details of like deliverables, what they're looking for, timeline, budget, then I can be like, all right, I'm interested. Let's do it. Or I'll pass, not a good fit. But I recently had a brand. I really love the brand, but they were like, hey, like we want to work with you. What do you say? And I'm like, okay, but what do you want? Okay, but like, what do you want to do? Like, what's your idea? What's the goal? What deliverables? Is this commission? Is it flat fee? Like, what is it? So now I'm like, there's a whole bunch of emails you're saving both sides from by just including the basics in the first outreach email.
But what about new people? I mean, new brands coming on, they don't have a GMV.
Yeah.
And the same for new creators or affiliates. They don't have a GMV. So a lot of people are using these tools like Yuka and some of these others, Kalo Data and whatever, to see like who should I be working with, who can actually sell.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a difference for when someone who can sell. I mean, Norm and I had Tiffany on this podcast. I don't know if it's out now or if it was in the past one, but she's doing 21 million a year on TikTok, and she does all of her own content. Zero on Amazon, zero presence on Amazon. 21 million a year on TikTok, and she's very good on camera and very good at turn on. So there's certain people that are good salespeople, and I think that's where a lot of influencers. I said this stat before, but I think I saw it's 1.5 million people right now want to be influencers in the United States,
Right.
or are actually trying to be right now. And then every 13-year-old doesn't want to be a doctor anymore; they want to be an influencer, or an astronaut, or whatever. They want to be an influencer. So but most of these people don't make money, and so then the brands are looking like, well, who can sell? Just because you're pretty, just because you have a nice set, just because you have whatever, doesn't mean you can actually sell.
Correct.
And so how do you find that product? It's not, they say there's product market fit, but there's also product or goal / creator / influencer affiliate fit.
Mm-hmm.
How do you find that, and what's the best way to go about that? Or sometimes you just got to roll the dice.
So on the creator side, GMV is a great stat to look at to determine, can this person sell? But here's a perspective that they probably haven't considered. That person's GMV, depending on the creator, that person's GMV potentially might all be from one performing video, and 99% of their other videos have generated zero. So the better indicator is to look at a creator's actual content. Is it high quality? Is it somebody that you want representing your brand? Or is it like in a dark corner, muffled sound? They're doing everything but talking about the product, but the product is linked. So like the quality of the video is much more important than overall GMV. And also seeing like, is the GMV like across multiple videos? Is it every time they post a video, they sell something? Or do they have one mega viral video where 99% of this GMV came from? So just because they have one viral video, which can absolutely happen to any creator, doesn't necessarily mean that they can sell your product and it's a great fit. So that's something to consider as well.
What about different commission structures?
Mm-hmm.
So, some people just think, oh, I'll give them a flat commission. We hear on Amazon the brand referral, so you get that 10 points.
Yeah.
But can you tell us about some of the ones that are working now, some of the unique ones that creators are using?
Mm-hmm. So on TikTok Shop, I would say very bare minimum commission is 10%, 15%. When you're getting, and creators can also filter by commission amount, like 30% or over. And then they have different levels that they can filter by. So if you're on TikTok Shop, very base, 10%. That also goes for like other sites like Creator Connections on Amazon. Basic is 10%. But then on TikTok, I've also seen brands be like, you get a 5% extra bonus if you do a live stream with the product. Or like the goalie strategy where they're like, if you make this much GMV, then we will give you a $500 bonus, or an iPhone, AirPods, Lamborghini, trip to Italy, whatever it is. So there's different ways to still motivate them to make more content, sell more without necessarily direct money out of the brand's budget. So I've seen commission rates on both TikTok and Amazon upwards of 50%. Totally know most brands can't do that. But then you can also offer like 5 to 10% bonuses or GMV bonuses, or even mix a flat fee with a commission basis. So that works really, really well. And the flat fees are typically small, like $50 to $200 for a video or pieces of content, plus 10%. Or of course, the big thing going on right now is retainer deals. So I'll pay you $500 this month for 5 to 10 videos instead of one piece of content per creator. So yeah, if a brand finds a creator and they're selling well and they love the content and it was a good partnership, why would you move on to a brand new creator and start over? Just take that creator, be like, I would love to work with you more. Here's a slightly higher flat fee. Here is a slightly higher commission. Let's do 5 or 10 videos this month and see how it goes. Because also that creator's audience is getting more touch points. They're getting more experience. And also they can hopefully feature the product more organically. They can say day 5 of using this product, oh, I've seen them use it before. They must really like it. So there's different strategies with it. And I used to be a huge hater of commission only. I thought it wasn't fair until these commissions started really going up and people were making huge amounts of money. So now I'm like big fan of commission.
I think that's an area a lot of brands mess is, like you just said, they go up to like 50% on the high end. I think they should go up to 100%. It depends on it. No, they can. Oh. They actually can. They just don't think of it right. I mean, just think about from the Amazon world where people were doing search, find, buy.
Yeah.
And they were going out and they're paying a service, refund, like one of the refund services or one of those services, $15-$20 to actually just for the placement. Then they're paying, the person would go buy the product and they would get some of that money back because of the margins in the product, but they lose some of it. Yeah. But they're still paying quite a bit of money. Mm-hmm. And they're launching a product. So if someone is launching a brand new product, look at like you just said, Goalie's doing. Mm-hmm. They're getting away $1 million at the top end. You do $1 million in GMV, they give you $1 million cash. That's 100%. And you got to get there, and it's not just for everybody, but that's going to motivate some people. Mm-hmm. And I think brands need to. And I wouldn't do this all the time, but I would do periods where, like a launch period, because social media is discovery, and you're trying to. And I know the halo effect can be, if set up properly, can be 60 to 70% on Amazon alone. And so if you're and you don't have to give any discounts, you don't have any cost, you don't have anything, do your numbers and apply that there and give a damn 100%, and then go out and make a game out of it like Goalie's doing and gamify it. And you could crush if you do this right. Mm-hmm. But a lot of these guys, they don't know how to approach them. And I look at Norm, and I saw the snow whitening guys at a conference last year, and he was breaking down how he does it. And he has an affiliate army. Yeah. And I think it was like 50 people. And there's people that come and go from that army, and they add a little bit and somebody moves on, but that's basically their core group that they go to. And I remember in the days of when I was doing a lot of shooting a lot of models with Mark, our number one recruiting mechanism wasn't us going and emailing or calling or going to some show or something to try to find another pretty model. It was her friends. Mm-hmm. It was her people. And I don't think a lot of people don't utilize the network a lot of these creators have of other people like them, where if you treat one of them exceptionally well, if I just hired you, Gracey, and I said, thank you so much for promoting my dog bed or whatever it is. I appreciate that. I'm sending you a couple extra just so you can give to your mom and your sister, because I saw on social media that your sister also has a dog, so I want to take care of them. And then I sent you every month for 3 months. So I found out that your dog likes duck treats, duck feet. Mm-hmm. I sent you some duck feet, and I treat you like a human, like a part of the team, like someone that I care about. And then maybe at some point I bring you on a trip where, hey, 20 of us are getting together in Miami. Do you want to come down? We'll cover your hotel and airfare and just come hang. Whatever it is, treat them like they want to be treated. And then you're going to go, Kevin and Norm's company is so freaking amazing. And you're going to meet somebody else that's crushing it. And you're like, you should work for them. Because you probably won't see them as competition. They're two different markets. That's, I think, an opportunity that very, very few people are looking at from this. They're just looking at dollars and cents on a piece of paper. And it's a massive mistake. And I think that Norm and I have Dragonfish, and it's basically combines three things. It's marketplaces, AI, and social commerce. Mm-hmm. Those three are the future, and combine those together, and that's what's going to rock. But you got to do it right. So what are your thoughts on what I just espoused there?
I think if any brand thinks that treating an influencer or a creator well, and they're not just like most deals or partnerships do feel like you're just another, like one of a million, or like just dollars and cents on paper. So I can name on one hand and probably with 3 fingers the amount of brands that have actually treated me well with, keeping me in the loop with like sending whatever product I'm interested in and trying, and then I can organically implement that into whatever I'm doing. Or somebody who's like kept in touch with me after a successful collaboration. And even people with like the TikTok shop affiliate opportunity. I'm seeing people like, I made this much money, so I got my sister and my mom started on it. Like that absolutely makes a difference, because if you're treating one person right, everyone has a network, everyone has family and friends. Like these are like-minded people to them. So you're right. If you're treating them well, if you're offering them product, if you're treating them more than just like one of a million names, that absolutely makes a difference. And as creators, if you're in this space, I know plenty of other creators. I know who does well, I know who doesn't do well, and I'm happy to recommend them as well if I love the brand.
Which cuts through all the clutter and all these email problems and all this. I mean, it takes a while to build this up.
It's a relationship.
Yeah, and I would even go so far as if I have a makeup line and you're using part of the makeup line and promoting us, but you just don't like our lipstick. You like some other brand's lipstick. I would actually send you that lipstick and say, I know you don't like ours. Here's I wanted to make sure you're happy. Here's the lipstick that you prefer. I'd send you a supply of it.
Yeah.
Just little things that you're about.
Because that's not the norm.
No, it's not. And that's how.
Yes, it is.
That's the norm over there. This is the king. Yeah. That's the norm. So yeah, I think that's where we're going to have to get to stand out.
Yeah.
And where the brands are going to really win. And I'm seeing a few big brands actually. They have a brand. Not brand ambassador. They have a brand coordinator. Or they're actually. This girl Tiffany, I think she has that in her company. Like one person, their sole job is brand relationship. It's not go hustle them and go see how much you can squeeze them for, see what they'll promote for free or for a discount. It's like take care of them.
Yeah.
And whatever you got to do it, because this is our bread and butter. And I think that's what too many people are not willing to play that game.
Correct. So many times, 99% of the time, you're treated like a tool, like a means to make money. If you don't make them a certain amount of ROI, you're worthless and useless and nothing to them. So like I said, it's very, very, very rare that a brand approaches influencers or creators with this mindset, because once you find a good one and you develop that long-term relationship, that one relationship with one good creator can trump like 50 random influencers. So you're right. Like it at the end of the day, you're dealing with people. You're creating hopefully long-term relationships, and treating each other well is the very basics of it all.
Are you looking to quickly boost new Amazon product launches or scale up existing listings to reach first page positioning? The influencer platform Stack Influence can help.
That's right. Stack Influence pushes high volume external traffic sales straight to Amazon listings using micro influencers that you only have to pay with your products.
They've helped up-and-coming brands like Magic Spoon compete with Cheerios for top category positioning, while also helping Fortune 500 brands like Unilever launch their new products.
Right now is one of the best times to get started with Stack Influence. You can sign up at stackinfluence.com or click the link in this video down in the description or notes below and mention Misfits, that's MISFITS, to get 10% off your first campaign. stackinfluence.com.
Well, I would even go so far as like the example you gave earlier, but look at that GMV. Maybe one of their things went viral and their other videos aren't so good.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a numbers game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they did have one go viral and that's most of their GMV and they're putting out other stuff and it's just not working, but eventually something's going to work again.
For sure.
And I would not just cut them. I would, it's part of my budget. It's part of like, okay, they get samples, that's just part of our cost of goods sold.
Right.
There's a 4% thing or whatever the number is, that just like an advertising cost.
Mm-hmm.
We just absorb it and we send it out to them, because I know even if they don't ever hit it again, someone in their neighborhood or someone at the soccer game with the kids or something is going to want that. So, or want to do something like, oh, you should try these guys. And maybe they're the ones that's going to hit.
Definitely.
And you just let it feed itself rather than all these people struggling, sending out thousands and thousands of emails just to deaf ears.
Correct. I agree with you.
Yeah, one of the other things, though, along the same line, heavy discounts for recurring products.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a one-off, okay, that might be something to think about maybe during a launch.
Yeah.
But if it's a beauty product and you're going to buy it or a supplement, every 30 days, why not give away a much higher or even 100% of the product the first time around?
That's very true. I mean, plenty of the things that I use every day are repurchases. So it definitely makes sense to discount the second purchase. I think that's like huge, like subscribe and save benefit. Yeah. And a lot of times if you're giving out the first product for free and just like letting people discover it and they fall in love. And so many times I look at the product I use every day and those are the things that I gift to my friends or like buy for Christmas and like really recommend to people. And like, girls talk, and this is maybe a girl thing, but like girls talk, they're like, oh, what makeup are you wearing? Where'd you get that shirt? It's so like organic to like take inspiration from like other people in your life, both online and in person. So yeah, this the whole word of mouth is the most powerful way of showing somebody else a possible product to buy.
I don't ask Norm where he got his shirt, but I say, Norm, where'd you get that cigar? Where'd you get that cigar? I want one of those.
I'm always curious about your thongs, though, Kevin. They're very creative.
Well, I do keep my shorts a little lower just for you.
Those whale tails, yeah.
So, Gracey, as a creator, influencer, affiliate, I don't think a lot of people understand how much work this is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you get better at CapCut or whatever tool you're using, or Premiere or whatever. And over time, you can shorten that window down of the editing. But how much time it takes to actually sit there and whether you're coming up with a script or they're sending you some talking points or whatever, and then whichever way you like it, and then you're having to film it, get creative, and like, what am I going to do with this? And then edit it, and then put it out, and then do a series of them. A lot of people don't realize the amount of work and effort that takes, and you're just as disappointed when it gets 7 views as the product person too, whether you're getting a flat fee or not. So what can you explain so people understand what kind of work this really is?
The most outdated mentality is like, oh, making a 30-second video is so easy. Okay, do it then. So first of all, yesterday I was making a live stream and just the setting up of the live stream, like adding the products, adding the backdrop, setting up the lighting, that within itself was like an hour. But when we're talking about videos, a lot of it is not only planning and setting up, but a lot of it is like strategy. And then you have the editing and then like the posting and repurposing. So it's very much a process to do. And a lot of it is, it's funny when like somebody is filming a video and then you see the behind the scenes, they might say the same thing 10 times in different tonalities, in different ways, different speed, different like look and emotion. So then in the editing process, you're like picking 1 out of 10 of what is the best way that I said the same thing. So that's just one part of it. But I think like the planning and the strategy is so underappreciated of how it can make a break or a video. The things that I'm thinking about is like the lighting, the setup, what I'm wearing, how I'm going to phrase this, the hook. As much as it looks like somebody's just off the top of their head, setting their phone down and just speaking, it's never that simple. So yeah, from the outside, it probably does look that simple, but there is a whole slew of things. It could be like a day's work to make one single video. That probably isn't the most efficient thing to do, but it absolutely is the way some videos have gone. So it's upsetting when a brand is like, oh, why can't you do this for free? It's just a little video, not knowing what goes behind it. I can tell you've never made videos before. And it's not the nicest thing to like be discredited of something that is such hard work. And so it's not only just like the actions of doing it, it's a lot of strategy and consideration and then like testing as well behind the scenes.
I think a lot of the times the onus is on the creator, and they're not giving proper expectations. I've talked to a lot of different creators, and the creator knows what to expect, but it's not communicated properly to the brand. So the brand thinks, oh man, I'm going to get hundreds, if not thousands of sales. And they don't know. And they don't know this is over time and you're building a relationship with the creator. But I think there's got to be with a lot of different creators too, a better way to communicate really what to expect so the brand understands it. And they might go away saying, oh, this is X number of dollars. I can't afford it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the expectations are met.
Yeah. So with that, it's hard because even as the influencer creator, I can almost never guarantee or promise virality, hundreds or thousands of sales. I too am hoping for the best, doing my best that I know how to do, and hopes to give you the thousands of sales, but it also might not. So it's hard to, first of all, those expectations being set first and foremost is so important. If I can tell a brand is looking at me and saying like, the only way that we'll be leaving this partnership happy is if you create 1,000 of sales, I would rather never work with you to begin with, because I sleep better at night knowing I didn't disappoint somebody, or that somebody didn't feel like they wasted their money working with me. I don't take the check and like just haha, like I'm not going to get you sales. I would rather us both leave happy and like didn't regret working together. So setting the expectations, very important. However, we both don't know the expectations. So if somebody is saying like, we need this many sales to be happy, I'm like, then I can be like, hey, like, let me manage the expectations a little bit. Maybe you want to work with somebody else or change the strategy a little bit. But it's hard because as much as a creator wants to sell and wants to go viral, it is also never guaranteed. So that's hard too.
That's why I think the retainer model is good, because you find someone that you like, that you work well with, and then you just pay them $500 or $1,000 a month or whatever the number is to create X number of videos. And you may do that for 5 months and not much happens. But on month 6, something just goes crazy, and it's all paid for itself.
Yeah. Another thing with that, you can set up the partnership so that even if the sales aren't the target, you still get a lot out of it. So like for a retainer deal, like you just mentioned, you could say, hey, I want ownership of the content. So even if you're getting like minuscule sales, you still have so much content at the end of the retainer, end of the partnership, that you can then, as the brand, use it on your own socials, boost it with
Put that on Amazon Inspire, right?
Yeah, that's gone.
I know, that's what I'm joking. It's gone.
You got me. Yeah, good
But
test.
when you're setting up for that one video or whatever it is, are you targeting a specific look for TikTok or Amazon Live? Well, that's a little different. Instagram, any of these? Are you making more than one format?
The best way that I've planned it out myself to make the most out of one piece of content is to do TikTok style. So like frame it in the style of TikTok and it will perform well on every other platform. If you do different kinds of styles, like let's say like I do reel style, that doesn't perform on TikTok. If I do YouTube short style, it doesn't perform on other platforms. If I do like a clip of a live stream, like maybe clip 30 seconds of it, that might be interesting, but it's still not going to be performing on TikTok. And also TikTok is the best top of funnel. So after considering like, okay, what is the best bang for my time? TikTok style, repurpose on every other shorts platform. So yeah, it's interesting how even reels have like a slightly different feel. It could be a 30-second short form vertical video, but it still has a different feel. Reels are a little bit more aesthetic. They're a little bit more tutorial how to, instead of like TikTok messy, just like you're in bed, no makeup, like hair bonnet on, and you're just like speaking into the void. That will not perform on Instagram Reels because it has a different look and a different vibe. So does Shorts. So does LinkedIn video. So does every other platform. So I say TikTok style and then repurpose onto everything else.
Do you do homework on your clients? So the client sends you like, hey, I've got this this product. I want you to promote it. Here's a couple bullet points. I'm sure some brands might give you a whole dossier and like break it all down. But do you go and like, all right, I want to make this work because I got I got some skin in the game here with my commission. I need to figure out who their avatar is. I'm going to go use an AI tool to download all their other videos, see which ones have been working, which hooks have been working, see what hooks in this industry have been working using some other AI tools. All right, now I've got a plan. I'm going to do my video, and this is going to really give it a chance at success. Do you do anything along those lines at all? Because I know most influencers or creators don't.
Absolutely. So many times, not so many times, but like there have been times where I've said yes to something, just like agreed to something before doing the research, and then found that like, oh, like they have really bad reviews on Amazon. Maybe they're low stock. Maybe their listing looks like crap. And then I'm driving my traffic there. So this is a disservice on both sides. I'm driving traffic to a listing that's not going to convert. And then the brand doesn't get the sales they want. So I have to do so much due diligence now of like, what does the listing look like? Reviews, photos, does it have enough stock even? And then on top of that, I'm also looking up their brand of what other creators and what other videos are out there on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it may be. And I'm also using that not only for like research about the brand to see like, how can I frame this? What's the best thing to do? But like research on how to make my hooks, what's the aspect of this product that actually sells. I was talking about like mouth tape the other day with somebody and they were like, I don't understand why mouth tape went viral. I can pinpoint and tell you exactly what the selling points of that mouth tape is that actually made people buy it. And no, it wasn't about better sleep. So even there's a product and it might have like a very obvious selling point, that might not be what's selling the product. So this is all stuff I have to consider before saying yes to something, because saying yes prematurely has bit me in the butt before.
They call that psychology, right? I think that's something that you might have taken a look at or been interested in. Something. I can never spell the word, but I think they pronounce it psychology.
Physiology.
Physiology. Here's just real quick before we wrap up. What's your opinion on AI influencers? The AI where you have AI generated UGC content and you have some of these tools. It was pretty janky for a while. Yeah. It's getting better and better and better. What do you see the future where you can take Gracey and have Gracey AI that's doing a lot of this stuff, and most people won't be able to tell a difference?
This is interesting. Gosh, Kevin, I want to pick your brain about Google VO3 because I've been absolutely baffled by those videos. But in terms of AI influencers, I've actually seen one brand do extremely well with it. Like they use AI kind of like green screen, but like with like an AI person, and he looks like he's maybe like a news anchor, like maybe a doctor selling a supplement. I don't know about the ethics of that, but have I seen it work? Yes, but not in the traditional way that people have like thought that AI influencers would work. Like you can kind of tell. It's very, very obvious to tell when you're using an AI influencer in a certain way, when they're like speaking directly to the camera. I know that there's an account on TikTok that their whole spiel is just an AI person sitting in the car and they're going, oh, and like, it's like, oh, I didn't know that this product was on sale today. And like, that's like the whole video. And they've gone viral plenty of times, probably made a bunch of money. I have heard also the opinion that things are swaying so AI that will like sway back to wanting human authenticity, and like how AI can never really fully be as humans want. So have I seen it work in specific situations? Yes. Do I think you can just make an AI avatar and sell something out without really like perfecting it? No. Could we get there? Maybe.
I think it's moving along. It's still, like you said, like but there's tools now that will look at all your videos that you've done, or you can sit down for 3 hours and go through it, but it'll look at all your mannerisms. You just put your hand through your hair a minute ago, and then you did this, and all your movements, it will capture them all and encapsulate them in there. All your mouth movements, all your eye, everything. And I agree with you that I think that's going to be a great tool to use for testing.
Yeah.
And so I think where that's going to come in is if I want to test 100 different positioning statements or 100 different hooks or whatever, I'm going to take that and I'm going to put that out there, 100 of them, and put a little bit of money behind them on Meta or on TikTok or whatever it is, because TikTok's going much less organic now and much more paid. They're making that transition. So, and figuring out, okay, these are the 3 that worked. You could figure that out in 2 or 3 days with $10, $20 per thing. And then coming back for that authenticity and saying, all right, Gracey, look, we just tested all this stuff. These are the 3 that worked. I don't expect you to do exactly what this video did, but these are the hooks that work. This is the stuff. Now make it you. And I think that's going to be a super powerful thing, that the smart influencers like Mr. Beast, and he's already doing some of this, or Diary of a CEO, or some of those guys, they're doing some of this in the podcasting world too. It can be massively beneficial.
Yeah, definitely. It's not as simple as people have made AI influencers out to be, but I think with the testing and with the combination of like doing stuff, like mixing in certain clips or like doing something a certain way, it does work. It can work. I've seen it. But it's not as simple as like, let me just generate an avatar, make them say some random AI script and like sell out. So
yeah.
It's coming. It's coming, and it's coming quickly.
Yeah.
Probably faster than we all think.
Another thing that's kind of scary is like the AI chat bots with like, let's say like some famous person that you want to talk to. They'll have like an AI chat bot that has learned their personality.
Character.ai is big on that.
They do it on Meta, and like I can make through Instagram my own chat fake AI person. And that's interesting too, to see if, I know people are making money with that for people who like want to pay to chat to somebody, but that'll be interesting too, the chat bots.
Hey, Kevin King and Norm Farrar here. If you've been enjoying this episode of Marketing Misfits, thanks for listening this far. Continue listening. We've got some more valuable stuff coming up. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're listening to this on your favorite podcast player, or if you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify, make sure you subscribe to our channel because you don't want to miss a single episode of the Marketing Misfits. Have you subscribed yet, Norm?
Well, this is an old guy alert. Should I subscribe to my own podcast?
Yeah, but what if you forget to show up one time and it's just me on here? You're not going to know what I say.
I'll buy you a beard and you can sit in my chair too. And you can go back and forth with one another. Yikes! But that being said, don't forget to subscribe, share it. Oh, and if you really like this content, somewhere up there's a banner. Click on it and you'll go to another episode of the Marketing Misfits.
Make sure you don't miss a single episode because you don't want to be like Norm.
Oh. All right. We are at the top of the hour. And Gracey,
Yes.
at the end of every podcast, we always have one question for our misfit. Do you know a misfit?
I do. And I did research as to like, has this person been on the podcast yet? Have they been on So I found one person, and I think it's valuable because it kind of ties into what we talked about today. And we all know him. It's Bradley Sutton. But I think I'm saying this because I know that he's working on some like really good tools that would be really, really useful for sellers, especially with like implementing TikTok and like discovering influencers. I think they're working on some cool stuff. Like, for example, understanding that TikTok is a product discovery platform, and still there's a huge amount of people that are discovering on TikTok but buying on Amazon, and we haven't been able to track that accurately of like the halo effect up until now. Hopefully he's working on something like that, and like that would be really cool if there's a tool that can do that. So
all right, well, we will reach out to him.
Okay, cool.
So how do people get a hold of you before you go?
Here.
Where do they send the check if they want to hire you?
Yeah.
Right. I'll give my address to anyone interested. No. My email is contact@dealcheats.com. My socials are Deal Cheats on all platforms. And yeah, that's it. If you need me.
Fantastic. Okay.
Appreciate it, Gracey. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
I'm going to remember.
It's awesome to see you. Awesome to chat.
Yes, you too.
All right.
I even let Norm ask more than one question.
I know you're giving him more leeway, huh?
I'm giving him a little bit more rope. It's like he always says, how long is a piece of string, right, Norm?
Yep. How long is a piece of string? He gave me that much more today. I felt so good. All right, Gracey, we'll see you later.
See ya.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on. That much.
That much. That much. But hey, social commerce and social media, man, it's changing rapidly, and AI is affecting it. But there's still a lot of people that aren't paying attention to it, and they just haven't gone around to doing it. But you need to, because it's whether TikTok stays or goes, it's still the power it has if done properly is ridiculous. And it needs to be a part of every brand strategy. That's why it's part of one of the core things in Dragonfish that we're doing. And who knows, Gracey might be helping on some of that stuff as well, and her team. So pay attention to what Gracey just said, and she gave some really good stuff for those of you listening on how to deal with creators and what they're looking for, and how to actually give yourself a better chance of it working. Because I hear so many people, we didn't even get into it, all the software companies now that help connect, the Stack Influencer, Levanta, and those kind of people that help influencers and product seller brands connect. And but it's a huge industry, and it's only going to get bigger as time goes on. But Norm, if as time goes on, if people need something to listen to, what do they listen to?
Well, they listen to marketingmisfits.co or the podcast Marketing Misfits, and it's on every podcast platform. And we also have a YouTube. We have 2 YouTube channels, Kevin. We have Marketing Misfits Podcast, and we have Marketing Misfits Clips. And these are all the short nuggets that we extract from every podcast.
What kind of stuff are they going to hear if they go listen to? What's some examples of stuff they're going to hear if they listen to the podcast?
Usually you.
Okay. Well, that's a good reason to listen. If you like the sound of my voice, then go and listen to the podcast.
I usually say, Kevin, does your voice get on your nerves too? But obviously not.
Only when I hear it back in recordings. That's why I never watch her anything that we do. I'm like, nope, that's annoying. No, I'm just kidding. But hey, we'll be back next Tuesday with another episode of the Marketing Misfits. We got an awesome set of guests lined up. I was just looking at the schedule the other day. The guests we've always had good guests, but they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and as far as how well known they are. So we got some really smart people coming up, and we got smart people in the archives. So go back and check out at marketingmisfits.co or the YouTube channel or Apple Podcast or Spotify, wherever you listen, and check out some of the old episodes. There's some really good gems in there.
62 under our belt.
There we go. 62. Oh wow, that's almost as old as you.
It is. Oh, this is when I start to go down. I want to be in my 50s again.
No. The podcast is getting better. This is where things start getting better and better at 62. That's the other way of looking at it. You just got to frame it differently.
That's right. All right, everybody. We will see you next Tuesday. Thanks for joining us.
All right. Take care.